Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Michael, and you're watching GEEKCASTER, everything sci-fi fantasy. That's right, everything geek media and geek culture. And today we've got...
Hello, Jamie Girac.
So there's a lot of things going on. Let's start out with the Emmy talk.
Yes, I love it. A lot of my faves got nominated, but a lot of my faves got snubbed as well. So I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. The biggest excitement is that Sandra Oh got nominated for Killing Eve, which I've talked in the show in the past is an amazing show that everyone needs to watch. And she's also the first Asian woman to ever be nominated for Best Actress in a Drama. So it's like a big groundbreaking thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but at the same time, the show Killing Eve wasn't nominated for Best Drama. And that was a huge snub. So there's a lot of like this.
Why do you think that is?
Who knows? I mean, it's all political and there's no rhyme or reason for what these things do. Like Best Comedy Series, somehow The Good Place wasn't nominated for Best Comedy Series, which is bananas, because that show's brilliant. Same with Brooklyn Nine-Nine should have been nominated for Best Comedy Series. And then a show like Kimmy Schmidt was nominated, which I feel like has really gone downhill. Who knows what they all think. But the biggest snub to me is Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks did not get nominated for Best Limited Series. Kyle MacLachlan should have been nominated because he played 3 drastically different characters on that show, and they were all incredible. It did get nominated for technical awards, and I believe David Lynch was nominated for writing or directing. But the fact that it wasn't nominated for Best Limited Series is so crazy because it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen on television.
What's your take on a lot of award shows? Because I know a lot of people in my immediate circle tune out. They don't watch the Grammys like they used to. They don't watch the American Music Awards. They're not really into the Oscars like they used to. What's happening?
So I don't follow any music stuff, so I really only do the TV and movie awards. Right. And I am fully aware that it is all BS. It's all political. It really isn't a good indication of what's the best and who's the best. That being said, I'm a sucker for it. I take it more seriously than I should. Right. I love it. Ever since I was a kid, I've just been obsessed with it, and I totally know in the back of my mind that it's shouldn't be taken seriously, but I can't help myself. I love it.
And for those that might not understand why you're saying that, why do you not take it seriously anymore?
Well, again, like I said, it's political. A lot of it, it's all about money and who gives the most money and who can promote themselves. In LA, they're all the billboards for your consideration and all that kind of thing. Right. But yeah, when it comes down to it, it's political. It's pretty white. They're getting better at that, especially this year. So many people of color have been nominated, which is really cool. But it's still not perfect. There are hardly any Latinas or Latinos that are nominated, and some should have been. Like Stephanie Beatriz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine was amazing this season, and there are other examples. I'm actually wearing this my shirt. Marvel has a Latina superhero on TV. People, you should watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's super progressive. So yeah, there's so many layers and factors as to why the award shows shouldn't be taken seriously. But again, I cannot help myself. I love it so much. I love the drama. I love the spectacle. I'll never stop enjoying it.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah. Are you any nominees that you were excited about?
Not particular. Again, I tuned out of the award. It's not my thing anymore. But I'm glad to see that they're starting to diversify.
Yes. And
hopefully we get to a point where we don't have to focus and just give out awards just to say that we're pushing diversity. That they actually just, hey, you did a great job, you get an award.
And I think we're getting there. You and I were discussing before we started, Issa Rae for Insecure, she was nominated for Best Actress, and I haven't even watched the show yet. It's on my list, high on my list, but I know she deserves it just from seeing clips and stuff. She's phenomenal. And I think in the past, the shows like that would just get overlooked, and it's not about who's best and who's not. It's just what shows are people watching more. Right. This was the first year in its entire history, I believe, that Modern Family wasn't nominated for Best Comedy. And I think that's probably fine. I think, what is it, in season 11, 12, I don't even know. It's good can that show possibly be anymore? I don't really watch it.
Right.
I've seen some of it, and it is a good show, definitely. But, you know, once you get into year 12, like, how original can your content be?
Right. Well, you know what's interesting? When you look at, like, a South Park and Simpsons, long run, but they stayed consistent for a long time where they deserve all the accolades.
I think animated's a little different, but I think it's a little easier with animation. But even still, it's like, did these shows really need to be? I mean, I watched South Park for years, and I probably gave up around season 13.
Right.
Yeah. Simpsons was just enough before my time. Simpsons actually started a year before I was born, which is so crazy to think about now. And so when I was a kid, I watched it a lot, but most of my friends who are older, like, they're much more into it just by having an extra few years on me.
Right. So what's going on with The Purge? Speaking of properties that just keep coming again and again and again, like, go away.
Yeah, I saw the fourth Purge, which is called The First Purge. It's a prequel about the first Purge, and I would say definitely better than the third one.
Really?
Yes. However, so there's pros and cons. I would say con, it wasn't scary. There were like no parts where I was scared. However, it felt more like a thriller or an action movie. The action was still good and intense. It just wasn't scary, which is fine.
No, that's not fine. The whole point of The Purge is to be afraid.
Yeah, but
it's a thriller.
But they went a different route, and it actually, the thing that was really good about it and why I would recommend it was the social commentary was great.
Okay.
Because in the first Purge, basically, they take over, I believe it was Staten Island, and it's only on Staten Island.
Correct.
And they basically pay the people who live there money to stay, and that's why they stay. So it's like they're taking advantage of poor people in order to make the Purge work and eventually be able to expand it. And then there are a lot of factors that go in that I didn't expect to go out being like, wow, I have a lot to think about. This Purge movie really made me think, which was impressive. So I would recommend it. I just would say go in thinking of it as more of a thriller, action, social commentary. Don't expect to be like at the edge of your seat. There were a couple moments. There was one character called I believe Skeletor, and he was really creepy. But other than that, but most importantly, it had Marissa Tomei, and I love Marissa Tomei. So
that's a good enough reason to see it.
That was my top reason for seeing it.
So with this one, basically they're saying this is like a test site.
Yeah.
Before the Purge becomes a national holiday.
Exactly. So the whole premise is if it becomes successful here in Staten Island, we're going to expand it. But the thing is, mild spoiler, like you can tell they're kind of rigging it. Like they're taking advantage of these people in order to be able to set it off. But I enjoy the Purge movies. The third one I didn't like, but they're not bad. They're a little more consistent than, like, say, Saw, but Saw is way further down. Saw just had, its 8th or 9th movie, which I don't know why I keep seeing those. They're not good, but I just keep on going because I started.
All right, well, you know what? Let's stay on the theme of just that repeating content over and over again. Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
And Superman's in it.
Yes, with the famous mustache, infamous mustache.
Right.
I am so excited for Fallout. The early reviews say that it's the best action movie since Fury Road. I've read insane reviews. I even bought tickets in IMAX. I never do that. I never go to IMAX movies.
Wow.
The last movie I saw in IMAX was. I did see Infinity War, but before that was like the first of the new Star Wars movies. I rarely do it. But I just rewatched all the first 5 movies, and it is really the best current action franchise that we have. Even the worst movie, which would be the second one, is still entertaining, and it's got Thandie Newton. She's wonderful. They're all good. The first one was one of the first action movies I ever loved, so I have a soft spot for it. But I mean, the third one, Philip Seymour Hoffman as the villain, you can't go wrong there. He's so good. And J.J. Abrams directed it. And the fifth one is so fun. I just watched the fifth one last night. There's this whole amazing action scene at the opera, and it's all like as a theater kid watching like Tom Cruise battle it out like on the catwalk, and like they're like running down the curtains and stuff. It's just fun, and I have a feeling that Fallout is like the best of them all. And Angela Bassett's in it. My only sadness of it is that Jeremy Renner's not in it. And I love Jeremy Renner in the last two. So that's a bummer. But, oh well.
It's very interesting to, when you play a superhero, especially something like a Superman, it's kind of hard to pick another project.
Yeah, but I mean, who cares about his Superman? I certainly don't. I think he's going to be good. Although we're kind of... Henry's had a rough week. I don't know if you saw...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What happened?
He basically was heard or said a comment that was like, he's afraid to date right now because he doesn't want to be called a rapist and for flirting. And that got a lot of backlash, understandably, because it's like, if you can't tell the difference between like flirting and sexual harassment, then maybe you have some issues of your own already.
Right.
Like if you're that worried, then maybe you should check yourself and realize how you're behaving in front of women.
Right.
So those comments weren't great. I mean, he's not, he doesn't have to be canceled quite yet. I don't think he went too far past the line.
No one's taking the cape away from him. He's
not
fine.
yet, no.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he issued an apology or not. I'm not sure. I don't follow Henry very closely. Right. But yeah, not the best comment. But it's not going to deter me from seeing Fallout. I already have, like I said, I have my ticket. So.
Wow.
And Tom Cruise does his own stunts. It's so cool.
Do you think this is going to be Tom Cruise's last Mission Impossible?
I don't know. I'm not sure if there is any official word on that, but I think it's going to make a lot of money.
Right.
And so, I don't know. I think he's going to keep making them until he can't do the stunts anymore. He hurt himself pretty badly during this one. I think he broke his ankle, maybe? Not 100% sure.
I did hear about that.
Yeah.
I forgot which scene it was.
I think it's when he jumps into the building. I think it's in the trailer.
Okay.
And you can kind of see he like slams into it. But I don't know. I hope they keep making them because they're all good. Right. They're so good. Again, even the second one, which isn't good, is still good.
And then also you have the hype of saying, hey, I did all my stunts, which is great PR.
That's rare. And it's strange. Tom Cruise is a bizarre guy. There's no getting around it. He's a weirdo, but he's an endearing weirdo, and all of his movies are good. There are so few Tom Cruise movies I don't enjoy.
Right. On some level, right.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't see The Mummy because everyone said it was bad, and that's probably the first Tom Cruise movie I haven't seen in 15 years.
Wow. Yeah, it was, it definitely wasn't it was not a must-see.
No, did you see it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so you know. So I don't need to bother with it.
Exactly.
It is kind of sad that it bombed enough that they're not going to make that they were going to do like their version of Avengers, but with all the classic horror creatures like Mummy but Johnny Depp was supposed to be in it, and so I'm glad it got canceled because we all know I don't like Johnny Depp.
You don't like? Wow. Interesting.
He's a terrible person. Even before he was revealed as a terrible person, I always thought he was overrated. I like his earlier stuff. I grew up loving Edward Scissorhands and Crybaby and that kind of stuff, but I was never a Pirates fan. I don't know, he just seems like he's just not a good guy. And I'm really mad he's entered my Harry Potter world. I don't want him in my Harry Potter. I might not even see the new Fantastic Beasts because I'm so annoyed that he's in it. Should have been Colin Farrell.
Actually, you know what? Good transition.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, because you are a Harry Potter fan.
Yes.
Besides Johnny Depp being in it, are you looking forward to that? Because a lot of people are like, they can't wait.
No, not at all. I didn't dislike the first one, but that reveal at the end bothered me so much. And it's not just that it was Johnny Depp. It's that the reveal in the movie was, hey, look, Johnny Depp's in our movie. It took me out of the movie because basically in the end you realize that Colin Farrell was secretly Grindelwald, who's played by Johnny Depp.
Right.
But you never see images of Johnny Depp as the real Grindelwald through the whole movie. So the only reason you know he's Grindelwald when they reveal at the end is because you know Johnny Depp is famous, and of course he's playing Grindelwald. But if he was just any other actor, you would have been so confused because they never alluded to what he looked like. So I just think it was, hey, Johnny Depp's in our movie, that's the gimmick. And that was, I think, just bad filmmaking. Again, even if I didn't really hate Johnny Depp, I still would have hated the way they did that. Also, I love Colin Farrell so much, and I think he would have been better as Grindelwald. I love the idea that, because Dumbledore and Grindelwald were together, and I like the idea of Jude Law and Colin Farrell smooching. But apparently, I'm also mad, the new Fantastic Beasts, they're not, I think we may have talked about this, they're not giving Dumbledore any indication that he is gay, and it's like they just keep teasing it. They've been teasing it for years, and everyone's mad that they didn't put it in the books because, JK, why are you going to tell us that he's gay if you're not going to show it? So we thought, yes, Fantastic Beasts, finally we get some canon gay Dumbledore, and they're like, oh no, we're not putting it in the movie. So I just feel slighted about the whole thing. But also, it's Harry Potter, and so a part of me is conflicted. I still want to watch wizards walk around doing stuff, so I have a lot of complicated feelings about it. I might still see it, but right now I'm on the no stance.
And is it important to the character?
Dumbledore?
No, I mean his sexuality. Does it push the story along at all?
Well, it does. It didn't necessarily in the Harry Potter books, but it does for this, because the whole thing about Grindelwald and Dumbledore were kind of magical partners, and they came up with all these things, but then they fell out and they had a big duel, and it's really more complex when you know that they were in also a romantic relationship.
Gotcha. That does, yeah.
It totally changes the dynamic more than just best pals getting in a fight. The fact that they were romantic, I mean, that absolutely makes it more heart-wrenching and interesting, and it's a bummer that they're not going to show it. Although, to be fair, in Fantastic Beasts takes place after all of that happened. But I'd still would have liked to have seen that, or at least let them talk about it. So.
And I just want to give a shout out real quick to Sound Shark for this really weird microphone.
Ooh, it's cool.
It's awesome. Yes. So
Sound Shark.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sound Shark. That's a cool name.
Yeah. Oh, Mamma Mia. Wait a. Mamma Mia.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. Mamma Mia. Let me tell you how much I love Mamma Mia.
Should this be happening?
I'm all for it. Honestly, the idea of making of a Broadway musical turned movie, then we get a sequel that's not a Broadway musical, that's rare. I mean, Grease 2 is one of the only thought I can think of that also did that, and I love Grease 2. So Mamma Mia, but I also have some complex feelings about Mamma Mia too.
Okay.
Mainly that it appears that Donna, Meryl Streep's character, has died. Which is upsetting. Why are you going to kill the main character of Mamma Mia? That's a little dramatic.
Right.
So that sucks. But also, Cher is playing Meryl Streep's mother. And while I'm thrilled that Cher is in this movie and she's going to sing Fernando, which is awesome, Cher is 3 years older than Meryl Streep. She should not be playing her mother. It's just insulting. And also in the first Mamma Mia, Donna, Cher's Meryl Streep's character, says her mother's dead. So that doesn't make sense. So but other than that weirdness, it's gonna be people I enjoy singing ABBA songs. So what can go wrong? I'm gonna love it no matter what. So. Did
Cher take her look?
What do you mean?
Say get her look from the Gaga?
Yeah, I read that recently, that she does look like Gaga, and I have no idea whose idea that was or if it's just a coincidence. But I think she looks super fierce with the blonde hair. Right. So I'm super into it. And
you know what? I have to say, to be fair, I would say that's Madonna right there.
Interesting.
That's, with the suit and the blonde hair. That's totally Madonna look.
Either way, it's a good look. I love a woman in a suit. So, and the sunglasses, she looks cool. I'm so excited to see it. I just love musicals so much. It's my favorite. So,
also, when are we gonna get Madonna and Cher to do a movie together?
Oh, I don't know.
I want to make that happen.
When was the last time Madonna acted in a movie?
We don't want to mention that because it was really bad.
What was it? Can't even think.
You don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it on the show.
Oh my
That's
God.
how bad.
I don't even. How long? Give me a year.
I mean, it might have been like 7 years ago.
Okay.
Or less. It was like she was on the beach. We'll talk. We'll talk.
Oh well, I
We'll
feel
talk.
like the viewers and I want to know what you're talking about.
We'll talk. We'll talk about
Okay.
it. Madonna, I love you, Madonna.
My favorite.
We need you to do your thing, okay? You need to come back. Come back to us.
Have you seen Four Rooms?
Everyone's telling me that is awesome.
It's one of my favorite movies. It was very poorly received when it came out, but it is one of my all-time favorite movies. And Tim Roth is so good in it. But Madonna plays a lesbian witch, and she wears like this black. Oh, her costume's really cool. It's a very goofy movie, but I'm a big Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez fan, and they each direct portions of it. So. Even if Tarantino keeps being more problematic, I can't help it. I really love his movies.
Okay, here you go. I got you. Hold on a second there. Because people want to know what you're talking about.
Yes, look at that outfit. Oh,
That's crazy.
so good. And Tim Roth is such an underrated actor. Like he can be so serious but so goofy. The way in this movie that he moves his body, and it's like he's a dancer almost. That the way that his physical comedic timing is super impressive. I do not, as somebody who does comedy, I do not have good physical timing. So I'm really impressed by anyone who does.
When did this come out?
95, I believe.
Okay, definitely.
So it was right after Pulp Fiction. It's not considered, even though Tarantino directed a quarter of it.
And he was in it.
Yep, of course, classic Tarantino. One of his better acting roles, because we all know he's not that great of an actor. But he basically plays himself. He plays a movie director. So I think it was his most seamless performance.
Interesting. Is this on Netflix by any chance?
I'm not sure. I just have the DVD. But it might be. If not, I'm sure you could rent it for $2 on Amazon.
Amazon, powerhouse. Well, you know what? Actually, I want to ask you about that. Before we go, because we're almost running out of time. Amazon is kicking butt. Hulu's kicking butt. Netflix wrote the book How to Kick the Butt.
Real quick, this is the first time in a long time that HBO was knocked out of most Emmy nominations. Netflix beat them,
Wow.
which is insane. So yeah, Netflix is doing great. But sorry to interrupt.
No, definitely. Well, Disney they're working on their own platform.
Yeah.
About to launch. I just saw hints of a Marvel platform, which of course is owned by Disney.
Interesting. It wouldn't all be the same umbrella.
Right. Well, that was weird because they had this thing signed up now, but it's all hints towards the same direction. So I'm wondering, will it be separate? Is it
Maybe.
just? It would make sense because if you're a Marvel fan, plus they get money from you twice, right?
Yeah.
Here's all the Disney movies, and then Marvel Studios, everything that you ever dreamed to watch, all in one place. So, but I would think that Netflix still would always win because they're constantly doing stuff. There's only but so many. So you can't put out a superhero movie every month.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's interesting because what about things like the Marvel's Runaways? That's a Marvel show, but it's a Hulu show.
Right.
I actually lately have been watching more Hulu than Netflix. Because my favorite shows of all time, Buffy and Angel, are no longer streaming on Netflix. They're on Hulu.
Wow.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's on Hulu. Steven Universe is on Hulu. So I spend a lot of time on Hulu these days.
What do you think of the Runaways?
I like it. I just bought the first volume of the comic, so once I read the comic, maybe I'll be like, this show sucks. It's not, it didn't stay true,
Right.
but it's everything I want in a show, which is teen drama plus superhero stuff.
Right.
So I think for me, it's more of a guilty pleasure,
Right.
but I really do enjoy it.
Yeah. I at first I was like, what is going on here? But I warmed up to it. I'm really looking forward to see where they take season 2 because the way that it ended, no spoiler alerts, because I really want you guys to watch this. Where are you gonna go? Like, I really, because
Yeah,
now
it's
they're
on the
actually,
comics. A quick segue,
Yeah.
because that's a Brian K. Vaughan comic, and they just announced the cast, or most of it, for Y the Last Man, which is one of my favorite comics.
Oh.
And Diane Lane's gonna be in it. The only thing I'm worried about is one of my favorite characters weren't announced as cast, and I'm gonna be really mad if they cut her out of the book, or the show. But keep an eye out for Y the Last Man info, because the comic is so good, and I think it's gonna make an awesome TV show.
Oh, wow. So, all right, well, give everybody your social media.
Follow me on Twitter at Jamie Cinematics.
Awesome. That was simple.
Yeah.
And you can reach me at Michael7Michael. That's Michael, the number 7, Michael. And of course, you're watching GeekCaster. GeekCaster is also on IG. On Facebook, it's GeekCaster, then the number 1, GeekCaster1. You could always go to geekcaster.com. You could check out all the different networks that we have the show and the times. All that information is there. Thank you so much for watching everything geek culture and geek media, GeekCaster, and we will see you next time. Thank you.